Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage. Today we're gonna do another unloading video. So in the last video, Mike and I did a quick run where we got up at like 3:30 a.m., drove up to New England, and loaded that T-Bird, all that stuff up that I don't really fully know what all we got. And we drove back same day. It was a very long day, but we got it done. And now we're gonna unload everything the next day, we are. And we're gonna show you, as we always do, some of the highlights of what we found. We'll take a look at the T-Bird a little bit closer. The T-Bird is actually already sold. The gentleman will be picking it up this afternoon, so we figured we'll give you a quick walk around to that thing and show you what kind of shape it's in and some of the treasures we found. So let's get to work. Okay, it does work.
Yep,
cool.
all right. Steve's got a big 4x4 in his hand if needed. You're good as long as you keep the wheel straight.
Slow you down. Ready?
Yeah. Go ahead. Just let them roll out.
Yep. It's all you now.
Wheel straight. She looks pretty good in the sunlight.
It looks like something, like a T-Bird. Good thing it's white because it hides a lot. This T-Bird was there with a lot of these estates that we do. People are always asking about how all this stuff works. This is a good example. This particular estate wanted to sell in bulk. They had sold off some of the higher end cars to some more well-known people in the higher echelon of the antique car hobby. So us peasants get called in and we get to buy what's left over. So this T-Bird was a good example. It was actually, they had at the estate sale, had tried to sell it at auction, couldn't even get a bid for an online estate auction. When this car was initially looked at, I don't think they looked real close at it, and once they took the photos, they realized that it was a little more rough than what they were expecting to get out of it. So fast forward, a bunch of stuff selling, the properties, you know, they're getting to the end of the process. We get called in with all the parts and stuff, and they kind of want everything to go at once. There was a gentleman that was interested in the car on its own, but they didn't want to deal with 10 people. They want to deal with one person. So we ended up buying the car with all the stuff, and we're just passing it on to the guy that was already interested in the car. He already kind of was in there before us interested. So it's a cool car. It's just not, I've always wanted a 55 T-Bird, but this is not the one for me. I'd like to have one that's, I can just get in and go, kind of. This one is a good project, we're gonna put it that way. Someone has repainted it at least once, restored it. So it has a bunch of old body work and stuff that's not real great on it. Someone was...
The hood is latched.
Someone, they were doing, the last owner was doing some work in the engine bay. So the rocker covers were off and the air cleaner and all stuff was off.
That's why the brakes don't work. It's not even bolted to the firewall.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was working. There's nothing connected there.
Now we know.
Yeah, so they were doing a bunch of work to this thing. So it had, for me, looking at this car personally, it had a lot of strikes against it that I wouldn't really want to own it, even at really cheap. But the guy's buying this is very excited because he's wanted one of these. It's in the price range he wanted to pay for it, and he can just slowly work on it. So it's a presentable car. Just T-Birds have gone down a lot in value in the past, like let's say 10 years, 15 years. So when you were at Hershey, I feel like you couldn't see a T-Bird that was decent for under 40 grand.
Did you see this was for sale at Hershey at one point? Car Corral.
Yeah, so this was at Hershey. You might have saw it. And,
didn't have a year. I was looking for a year.
Yeah, but so this car is a good one to fix up, and it is what it is. So the guy's buying this, you know, we talked on the phone and he was interested, and we're closer to him, so we brought it back. So he's gonna get the car. A car was originally red. It looks like you could see a bunch of like, yeah, and maybe black. But it's mostly all there. I mean, again, it's a presentable car if you want it. You probably could just like throw it together and just rip around in it. I mean, early T-Birds are getting that cheap that you could say that. It's not like C1 Corvettes. You can't really say that. Like, let me just buy this cheap C1 and just throw it together and rip around. But the car has some, you know, bodywork that's you could see popping through and stuff on it, and there's like, you know, they couldn't find the keys for it. There's a bunch of stuff like that that's just like, eh. So for me, as much as I want to own every car that we find, we had to pass
this is not one of them.
This is not one of them. So that's the story on this one. And it's gonna go off to a new home and get repaired or fixed or restored, which is the most important thing, rather than me buy and sit it in the corner. Somebody else can work on it and fix it. So that's the T-Bird. We're gonna wait for the new owner to show up. He can load that up. We're gonna keep unloading the trailer. I'll show you guys all the cool stuff we got.
Now your trailer needs a bath from multiple vehicles.
So the first trip to New England that we did with the convertible sedan, some of this you see, insulation and dirt. We didn't get time to clean it out. We didn't realize that until we showed up. So the T-Bird is trying to help, and it proceeded to leak like 3 gallons of oil 3 quarts of oil on the floor, and it's soaking up some of the dust.
We got oil dry already on the floor.
Yeah, so
just need to brush it around.
But that's one of the things when you buy cars like this that are like half-done projects. Who knows? The freaking drain plug might have been like
not in it,
or hand tight, and we didn't know, so we just put it in.
Glad we used your trailer with linoleum and not mine with carpet.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
Oh,
this is the junkyard trailer for sure.
Yep. I'll go find a broom. Alrighty, so we are all unloaded, we're upstairs. I'll give you guys a quick tour of what we got. First things first, the pre-sale for the calendars and the Crest t-shirt ends November 20th. So be sure to head to the website after the video and place your order. And also on Black Friday, we're gonna be offering 15% off on our website on all items, merch, parts, everything. So make sure you head to our website on Black Friday and grab some. It's going to start at 12 in the morning and go to 11:59 and 59 seconds on Friday evening. So you got 24 hours to grab whatever you want off the website for 15% off. So now that's out of the way, let's walk around and show you guys what we got. I don't know everything we got. Got a lot of Packard stuff, some Buick parts, some Caddy parts. I'm not well versed on all of it. So if I get it incorrect, please do not tear me apart in the comments. I'm trying my best. So we're gonna start with the not fun stuff and save the tables for last because there's a lot of good stuff over there. Some hubcaps, 3 complete 32 Packard Super 8 hoods, I believe. That one is a full complete one. I believe we have doors for that. So those are neat. Nothing, I think that's a 59 Caddy hubcap. 32 Packard front fenders, big car as well. Basically everything will be for sale. I think there's only a few keepers here that Matt is keeping. A neat Walker straight axle floor jack, that'll be available for sale, and I will take it apart to ship it if you need it shipped. I believe this is Packard rear fender as well. Not positive on that. T-Bird dash, crazy looking gas tank. Front splash panel for something, again, need to do. There's a lot of research that's going to need to be done, unfortunately. Some split rim rings. There was no actual wheels, split wheels, so we just grabbed the rings because there's a lot of wheels out there that do not have rings. So they're good. a ton of spare tire covers. They're all nestled in with each other, each level you go down. So there's a ton of them. We grabbed these cool wire baskets to use eventually for parts. They're kind of neat, and the price is right. So we grabbed a handful of them, as much as we could fit in around everything. And then this is all stuff that we need to go through. There's a bunch of brand new 40 Buick stuff that was in the one corner of the garage. There's manuals in two of the bins are filled with books, trim. I mean, there is a ton. All these boxes are full. So I got to go through all of this at some point and figure out what it is. Neat Indy 500 flag, a bunch of tires. They're all just tires. And then we did get a full set of these Caddy wire spoke wheels. We actually got 5, 4 really, really nice ones and 1 rough one for a spare. Neat poster. I think Matt's gonna sell it, but it's got some neat cars on it. We're not sure if it was a insurance agency poster of some sort, but super neat. Now we get to the cool stuff. We got a whole bunch of random carburetors. We found that some of these oddball car carburetors are worth a bit of money, so we grab every single one and then figure it out later. In worst case, we just have to throw them away. Neat little anvil. This cool exhaust whistle. We're gonna probably hook it up to some air, hear what it sounds like, but super, super cool. Bermuda bell. Of course, had to test to see if it works. Packard air cleaner. These super neat. We found these in a box covered in packing peanuts, and some mice's grabbed were inside, so we saved them from being covered in mouse droppings. But neat Packard. I'm not sure what this is, but all these models are in pieces in the bottom. Duesenberg model. There's another small Duesenberg model there. Those will be for sale. 40 Cadillac steering wheel. That's really, really nice. Some other rough banjos. These are neat retractable cigar lighters. I think there's a couple other ones. Some oil cans. Stuff we always grab just because. Some neat steering wheels. This really neat. It's wooden, I believe, or fiberglass. Some type of car model, but the tires does roll, so it's kind of neat. 59 Caddy grill. This is all keeper stuff for Matt, I believe. There's a few things he might sell, but a really neat 32 Packard complete gauge panel. The only thing it's missing is the choke knob, but it's got a clock and everything else. Spare clock here, and then a bunch of neat, I believe these are 33.4 Packard, I believe. Super neat handles. This speedometer is cool because they actually figured out the engine revolutions to match your speed. So that's kind of neat. But Matt's gonna be keeping the majority of those. There might be some doubles for sale, but for the most part, he's gonna be keeping those. Some neat Packard Super Ray fog lights, a nice matched pair. This is a Packard used these too. Trip Speed Light fog light. This is a Packard specific arm, which is always good to find. All kinds of neat tail lights. This thing's real wild. I gotta figure out what it is, but super neat tail light. Some vases that go inside the cars. I think this is 32 Packard Stone Guard. It looks like it was freshly re-chromed, so that's kind of neat. Packard dual coil setup. Has this super neat cast aluminum base that they sit in. So I'm not sure if Matt's keeping that or not. Some neat reflectors, cat eye reflectors that go on the back of the car. Chevrolet like camping scene thermometer. It's kind of neat. 34 Packard headlights, all kinds of radiator cap and Packard emblems. We got to identify all this stuff. These neat fender lights. They remind me of Buick, but I'm not sure what they fit. We got these extra lenses here and all kinds of different fog lights and marker lights. Where's the neat set? Oh, these here. I think Matt's gonna hang on to these to use for a hot rod. I'm sure they're worth a ton of money, so. Oh, what's in? Do you see they have something inscribed in the bottom, Steve? It There's someone's name inscribed in these lights.
Yeah, Matt was looking at that earlier.
That's so funny.
His name and his town where he's from.
And these must get stolen a lot, apparently. So those are neat. I'm sure Matt's gonna hang on to those. Those look cool. Would look cool in a hot rod. And then there's just headlights and fog lights and all kinds of neat stuff. This is kind of funny. This is a Packard headlight. Someone put like a radiator cap on the bottom for a trophy of some kind. So there's a ton. There is a ton of stuff for me to go through. This video is actually coming out. We're actually headed on another trip in like 3 days. So I have a lot of stuff to go through. There's a ton of stuff on the floor over here that I need to sort through, and we're getting more. So it's gonna be a busy winter. As always, if there's anything that you saw in this video that you would like to purchase, send us an email, irontrapgarage@gmail.com. This will all be for sale in the next couple months. I got a lot of work to do. So if you see anything, just hit us up. But thanks guys for watching. We appreciate it. As always, see you next time.